Hello, Salemites. Welcome to your day's Daily Dose TV. So this is your weekly updates and recap for the week of Monday the 17th, April 17th to April 21st, Friday, which is today. What's going on in Salem? All kinds of things. Subscribe if you haven't. Okay, so we start off with Marlena has gone back to work. John didn't want her to go back yet. You know, he thought it was too soon, but she'd already hypnotized Stephanie on the couch. You know, she's already back to work. Stephanie and Chad, they arrive in Greece. Now, as soon as they arrive in Greece, you can see that someone is watching them. Like from behind the plants, from behind the suitcases, just, you know, somebody's checking them out. Now, at first, I thought this was Bo. But then it turned out that after I watched a little more of that episode in particular, it occurred to me why it probably wasn't Bo. I think I did a video about who was following them. Maybe I didn't. Okay, so somebody's following them, and we don't know quite who yet. But originally, I thought it was Bo, because he seems to know everything going on everywhere. But don't forget, he has Patch's cell phone. So any messages that Stephanie has been leaving for Patch, they hear them. So, you know, Bo hears them. He knows what's going on. So Stephanie left Patch a message that they had arrived in Greece. Bo listened to it. So once I knew that that's how he knew Stephanie was in town, because he did make a comment to Steve and Kayla that now Stephanie's here, you know, and they both just perked up, you know, because Stephanie was in town. But anyway, if you thought, well, you probably know by now who it was if you watched the show this week at all. Anyway, they have all figured out that... Hold on. They haven't heard from Steve in a bit, and they had all been communicating very well. The last thing they heard about Steve, he was headed toward the police station to see if he couldn't get the prisms and whatever else they found at the compound lab, where Rolf left. I'm unclear if Rolf is in jail now. I think he is. He may have got... No, he's not. And I think Rolf saved Kate. I think he's held up somewhere with Kate. That's just my own personal intuition, because I don't watch them spoilers and that crap. Unless it's something straight from the Days of Our Last page, people jack all kinds of stuff up, and you think this is going to happen, that's going to happen. You find out they lied. They didn't know. They just said that crap to get you to click on the video. I can't handle that crap. So I just don't watch none of it unless it comes straight from their page, and then lots of times I don't watch it either. Alex goes in, and Marlena just got in her office, and Alex goes and talks to Marlena. They really have a session, even though, you know, he didn't have an appointment, but it was her first day back. So, and she found out, you know, Alex was hoping that they found Kayla. He was asking if they had any information, because he feels like if they find Kayla, then that means that he didn't cheat Stephanie in the last moments, you know, of talking to her mother for the last time. Now, Marlena asked him, she said, Chad, you don't think that means that maybe there's a chance for you and Stephanie, do you? And he didn't answer that we got to see. So I think he did think it. I'm pretty sure that he did. I feel bad for Alex in a way, but I'm just having a hard time with the Alex Ben. You know, they had Ben one day when he first came back, and exactly 2 days later, Alex was on air in another, you know, playing Alex, and I couldn't turn off and on like that quick. So, no, man, it's not working for me. He needs to choose one role or another and let them recast somebody. So, he does a great job at both of them, don't get me wrong, but I love Alex. I'm done with Ben. Ben's a murderer, no matter how much lipstick you put on him or what you do with him, he's a murderer. So, I don't blame him for going to another character that's at least a spiffy dresser and a hard worker, and he takes a bath and stuff. That's always a good quality in a man. Take a bath. Take a shower. Oh, I'm just messing around. It is. It's very, very, yeah. So, Bo and Patch end up getting in a fight Monday. And Patch throws a bowl of soup that Bo went fishing, got some fish, and he came back and he made some stew for Kayla and Patch. It was fish stew, which sounds so nasty. But it may be very good. I don't even know if there is such a thing, but made me a little nauseated hearing it. But, I've never had fish stew, if there is such a thing. Does not sound appetizing to me. They got in a real bad fight. Bo points the gun to him, and he said, I'll blow your eye. I'll take your eye out. And he said, you remember when I took that other eye out, do you? Or maybe that was in another scene last week. They're all going together. But anyway, he shoots the gun. You hear Kayla scream, and blood splatters on Bo's face, and then it goes to a commercial. Well, when it comes back, you find out that it's wine, red wine. Bo just shot up a bottle of wine instead of shooting Patch. Thank goodness, right? Don't like the new Bo at all. The brainwashed one. Megan and Kristen meet. They meet in jail in Statesville, just like we assumed that they would. Kristen was having a fit because Brady wouldn't take her phone calls from the jail, and she's cussing and slamming the phone. And Megan comes up behind her and says, "Calm down, sister." And Kristen's like, "I'm not going to calm down. Don't tell me what to do. And I'm not your sister." And Megan said, "Well, actually, you are." And then Kristen turned around, and she's like, "Oh, the infamous Megan Hathaway." And Megan said, "Huh, and you're the infamous Kristen DeMere." So, I kind of like these two together. I think they could do some... I just had visions of seeing them, getting their acts together, getting out of jail, and then going and ending up taking over Demera, or at least helping Chad and EJ and Stefan run it. Oh my God, it'd be 5 of them. Even Johnny, wouldn't that be great? All of Stefano's kids running this company. So that would be good. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen, but they make plans. They're going to be sisters in crime. So they end up, kind of confiding is the word I'm looking for. Confiding in each other about a few things. But, Kristen's like, "Well, I'm not ready to start playing Sister Sledge yet." I think it's Slister Sledge, she said. I'm getting tongue-tied. It was pretty funny. But it was smart. And Kristen is very smart, but so is Megan. And I love Megan, so I hope they keep her around for a while. Kristen and Megan have some absolute things in common. And that is they will steal, kill, lie, and fly to the ends of the earth for love. So, I don't care, you don't love me, I'm going to kidnap your ass anyway. So, they do have some things in common. So they make some little plans, and she's telling Kristen the little deal she made with the ISA to get her ass over there to Statesville. And she said, I told him Thomas kidnapped Kayla, and Kristen's like, "Thomas? That little weasel imitated me one time." Of course, Thomas's character is Kristen. She plays Kristen, Thomas, and Susan Banks, which is my favorite. But this slimy little Thomas is I like him too. Oh, he's an ugly little rat. Anyway, she ends up telling her that, oh no, she says, I don't buy that Thomas kidnapped Kayla. And I don't know how Megan came about telling her, but she said, well, you know, maybe he didn't. And she said, you know, that's what you told him. But, you know, she said you would only go to such lengths for someone you loved a lot and more than anything, and that would be Father or Bo. And they're both dead. And Megan said, yes, and I was thrown in a tank of acid and fried to a crisp. And here I sat. And Kristen looked at her and she's like, are you saying Bo is alive? And she's like, I'm not saying anything. So Kristen has figured out already two things that she can use to her advantage. Megan lied about who took Kayla, so they're looking for a slime bucket that doesn't have her. And she thinks Bo could possibly be alive. But, like Megan said, you know, here I am, you know, when I was fried to a crisp. Hydrochloric acid or something. I was just laughing. And she's like, it does wonders for the skin. You know, so I think they could be dangerous and do some damage together. I'd like to see them. Megan's missed out on her whole family, so I don't know. It's too much to ask that them all act like a family, isn't it? Megan goes back to her cell. Kristen gets on the phone and calls Brady, and he does accept her call this time. And she says, you need to get down here. I've got something very important. You and your whole family want to know this. And he says no, he don't think he's going to come. He hangs up, but he does end up going. Well, what Kristen doesn't know, and that's the end of what happens for Monday. No, yeah. Now on Tuesday, what Kristen doesn't know is that, I forgot what I was going to say. I should have said at that moment because I don't have much wrote down. Okay, so we move on to Tuesday. Stephanie and Chad find Thomas in a warehouse. He's got a gun on him. And, you know, Stephanie's like, I want my mother. I know you kidnapped Kayla and shot Kate. And he's like, he didn't kidnap Kayla. He don't have Kayla, and he didn't shoot Kate. And he also found out his sister, Susan Banks, died, and he got a little choked up about it. It was touching. He's such a little rat. I see what Kristen meant by, that slimy little. He looks a little like a little slime bucket. Anyway, did I not see the rest of that episode? I don't. Anyway, the slime bucket got put in jail. Well, he got taken in for questioning. I don't know who came and found them, or I don't remember what. I don't think I saw what happened in the warehouse. So they've got Thomas in custody, and this is where they're finding out that he didn't do this stuff. And we find out on Friday, actually today, but it fits in with what's happening for Tuesday, that Thomas was in some kind of establishment in an orgy that can be verified, so he couldn't have possibly done it. Oh, okay. So Harris and Hope, Stephanie and Chad, they split up. Except Stephanie and Chad stay together. You know, nobody wants Stephanie traipsing around Greece by herself. So her and Chad go one way. Harris and Hope, they split up, and they're all checking Victor's properties in Greece because they feel certain that Kayla's being held on one of these properties. So, that's what's going on there. Chloe and Xander are having lunch again, drinking, throwing darts, and Chloe throws a dart into Xander's chest, and it's stuck there. So she has to take him to the hospital. I never do see what happens. I don't think they ever showed it. Oh, yeah, I think he got out and he was okay. But yeah, she threw a dart in his chest. It was pretty funny. Megan, Tuesday is when Megan confronts Kristen. She sees her the next day and she said, "Wow, you sure didn't take long to betray me." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "I know what you did." And she said, "But you need to think about this." She said, "Something we have in common is that," and Kristen said, "I need to do anything I can to get out of here because I want to be with my daughter." And Megan said, "I understand that, but we both want to get out of here, and I've already got something in action to get out of here. Now, would you rather go with me and take your daughter with us, or would you rather stay in here and serve your time and hope you get to see her every now and then?" So if I was you, I wouldn't tell Brady anything to tip him off on me. And so Brady just popped in. He had told her he wasn't going to come, but there he is. He came anyway. So he just popped in. And I forgot what she told him. He was a little pissed off at her because, she made a big deal like she had something big to tell him. Now, when it went off Tuesday, you see that Harris is knocking on the door where Bo is staying. And Bo opens the door and meets Harris for the first time. And that's how it goes off Tuesday. Now, Wednesday. Oh, this is so good. The whole Sweet Bits drugging. Okay, so Wednesday. Sweet Bits. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Wednesday, Sweet Bits is, I don't want to say it's raided, but the police ascend on there because they want to do all the, they've got to do fingerprints and see if there's anyone else's fingerprints other than Talia and Chanel's in the bakery. Everyone in the hospital is coming off the drugs. Rafe, Trask, Jada, Rafe, Trask, Nicole, Eric, Gabby, they all went to the hospital. Now, Eric and Nicole didn't go to the hospital. You know what they did. Sloany baloney. Okay, so, you can see that Talia panics because, Talia is the person poisoning the Sweet Bits. We just don't know who she's in cahoots with or why she is doing it. She's Jada's sister. None of this makes any sense. But there's going to be some storyline here, I feel, tied in with why she's not a practicing doctor anymore and this vendetta that she has. I did see last week when Sloan and Chanel got into a fight in the square, Talia went and split them up, and when Sloan raised up, she gave Talia some kind of look, and it made me think they knew each other. So, and it could have just been my imagination. So, I think she's somehow connected to Sloan. I'm not sure what's happening. I haven't figured it out, and I haven't watched any of the spoilers about it. Okay, so Jada's investigating, and Jada notices they have a security camera, and Talia panics a little bit she looks like she does, but Chanel goes to pull it up and finds out Talia forgot to turn the camera on the night before. Of course, she did that on purpose. So, she never turned the security camera on. Nicole ends up lying to EJ and telling him, she went and cut out a bunch of collars on suits at Basic Black when she was high on drugs, which was a lie. She went, and hopped in bed with Mr. Eric. Anyway, EJ overhears her on the phone telling Eric, I didn't tell EJ and I don't want him to know. And Eric said, okay. So Nicole lies to EJ. EJ overhears her on the phone to Eric. And Lee ends up letting Gabby go free. Letting her go free. He told her she was free. She could go do what she wanted. She would like for them to be friends. And she said, any chance you could still give me those Damaris shares? And he said, not a chance in hell. But, if he teams up with EJ, they can kick some butt over there at Damaris. So, I think EJ definitely needs to be in charge of the company. He's been in charge of it most of the time. And I think he should be in charge of it, maybe with Chad. Stefan is... Okay. We move on to... Lee lets Gabby go. Free. Okay, I don't know what that is. Thursday, Tony and Anna are back in the picture. It's one of my favorite couples. I love Tony and Anna. I have watched them since they were both young and gorgeous, and now they are older and gorgeous, and I still love them. They are back, and Tony is having a conversation with EJ because EJ's all pissed off, and he's like, brother, what's the matter, brother? Something wrong. And he's like, Nicole was lying to me. And they have a long conversation that I have to say, Tony gave some very good advice. He said, but, at the grand scheme of it all, what does it matter? Do you know who she was talking to or what it was about? And he said, no, it doesn't matter who she was talking to. He said, it absolutely does. You're making a big deal out of nothing. And you need to, he explained to EJ how some things just aren't worth, you just have to look over them or try not to think about them. And he said, for example, I have to look over the fact that Anna had too many, what was the name of that drink she just had, wherever she was? And she said she had too many with the ladies. He said, but I just overlook it. And I have to overlook the fact that she spent a fortune on a little glass lampshade to set by her window. And I know it cost way too much. But I didn't let myself check on the price or anything. Because at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, is she happy? Does she love you, and is she happy? And that's all that matters. And I really liked Tony's little talk. Of course, Tony and Anna, they could give some marriage advice. They've had some very trying times and made it through. They haven't always been together. Nicole confides in Anna because Anna goes to her to see if she has any aspirin. Nicole confides to Anna and tells her what happened with Eric. And, Anna's telling her the same thing. You said it was a one-time thing. You all were under the influence of the biscuits. No. Don't tell EJ. Why? There's just no reason to. So they're both shoring up relationship advice in the house. Wendy, she hops her butt on an airplane and goes to Seattle to see Tripp. Do you believe this? This is all a reaction to Johnny proposing to Chanel when they were both flying high on biscuits. But she goes to Seattle to see Tripp, and he's asking her, well, what happened? What made you fly 2,000 miles? And she said, well, Chanel and Johnny are getting married again. And he's like, what? And Johnny has been calling her and texting her and leaving her messages. She's not talking to him. She won't answer him. And Tripp's like, well, maybe you should talk to him. Maybe there's an explanation or something's going on. And she's like, right. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like Wendy. She jumps to conclusions. Now, what she was doing is she's playing her little game with the boys. Yes, she was. And she was playing them boys off of each other. So the fact that, she thought it was okay that she go date Tripp and Johnny. But if Johnny's over there getting sweet on Chanel, how dare you, and you're seeing me? And like he told her, you told me you were going out with Tripp and you liked Tripp. So, oh my God, it was so funny when they were high on drugs and Wendy was confronting them. They said, Tripp the drip. They're right. Oh, it was hilarious. Well, anyway, Wendy's not giving him the time of day, so she's going to end up doing something, probably getting knocked up too. And, she's going to have a problem. So, Johnny goes over to Wendy's house, and Lee tells her she's gone. And he's like, well, do you know where she is? And then Lee gets a text. Oh, yeah, she just texted me. She's in Seattle. And Johnny's like, oh, right, she's in Seattle to see Tripp. So he's like, this is a bad misunderstanding. And, Lee just set Gabby free. And it was a very touching scene between Gabby and Lee, actually. I felt bad for Lee. But, he said, I'm not in any mood for your dramatics. And he talked him into calling Wendy. Well, he did call Wendy, and Lee was like, I think, Johnny's here, and I think you should hear what he had to say. And Wendy said, I don't want to hear what he had to say, and she hung up. So, because Johnny told Lee what happened, and Lee just took Gabby to the hospital for the same thing. So, he was a good source of information for that. So, that's what's going on with that. So, one of the last things, next to the last things we see on Thursday's episode is Johnny is booking him a plane to go to Seattle. Okay, so Stefan and Gabby, he's texting her like crazy. She runs into him at the hospital. She tells him she told Lee it's off, it's over, and he set her free, and now they're both homeless. Or she's homeless. He said, no, you're not. You're coming home with me. And she said, in the DeMera house? And he's like, yeah. So, Tony and Anna, EJ and Nicole are toasting in the DeMera room where No-No's picture hangs. And talking about relationships or whatever. And Stefan comes in and said, well, pour 2 more glasses for us. And everybody's looking at them. They're totally probably not welcome there after all their shenanigans. Okay. Yep. Gabby moves in. Alright. What did I see about Sloan? Oh, okay. Something else that happened Thursday. Oh, my neck is itching. Something else that happened Thursday was that Sloan told Eric, and I knew this was coming. Sloan told Eric that she no longer wanted to be just sex and no feelings. That she wanted to be his girlfriend. And he said he'd love to have her as his girlfriend, so I hope they stay together. She's just like a wounded little puppy. And, Eric's been through some crap, too, so. Okay, so Friday, Roman gets back. He's been flying different places and went to see Carrie and whatever his name is, Austin. And spread Kate's ashes around. Of course, we know now that's not Kate. That's a goat. So he was busy spreading a goat's ashes around, telling them how much he loved him. He comes home and he's over, I guess it was late at night. He came over to talk to John, and John's like, "Oh yeah, man, come on in. Want a sandwich? Want a sandwich?" And he didn't even get to tell him that they'd found the girls and stuff, and Marlena walked into the room, and it was so shocking for Roman. So he got filled in about Kayla and Marlena and how Kate did not make it. So, next thing you know, Roman's going, he's either going to Statesville to murder Megan, or he's going to Greece to help look for Kayla. And John's like, whoa, 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 settle down, pal. You know, let me and Doc talk to you. Alright, so a lot of people are getting around in the middle of the night in Salem this Friday. I guess Thursday night, Friday morning, in the midnight hours. Okay, so Megan, she gets dragged out of bed. She's like, what's going on? She's like, you have a visitor. And she's like, a visitor? Who would be visiting me at this time? And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning or so. Opens the door, and who is it? Andrew Donovan. Why is he there at an odd hour? Because he just flew from another country, I think. Well, he flew from another state for sure. So he's talking to Megan, and he's telling her, you know, look, your time is running out. You lied to us, and this is what's going on. So she ends up telling him the truth, apparently, because he goes over to Marlena's, and Marlena, John, and Roman are over there. And he tells them that they think they know who has Kayla, and they told him it was Bo. Now that's how you go, how you roll. So Harris ends up feeling guilty because he made this deal with Bo. Bo told him when he met him face to face, he said, "Don't hurt Hope again. You all already have a good thing. I don't want to go back to my old life. Just pretend you never saw me." But after he got back and lied and said he didn't find anything, he ended up this morning, telling Hope the truth. He was sorry he lied, and he didn't tell her what he found, but he told her she needed to go there. And she did. So I don't know what's going to happen with Hope and Harris, but she has a lot of patience with him, and she cares a lot about him. So obviously Bo don't want no part of that merry-go-round, so we'll just see. Yeah. Bo ends up taking, Kayla tells Bo she can't do anything with the potion. You know, she needs a lab, she needs all this stuff. Bo finds a deserted Kyriakis lab in Greece with everything that Kayla needs. How about that? Isn't Bo one lucky fellow? One little lucky dude. So he takes Kayla there. Patch is having a fit. He don't want Kayla to go nowhere without him. So he takes Kayla there and tells her he'll be back in 24 hours. Locks her up with everything she needs. Stephanie and Chad are... The lab that Kayla is in is one of their 3 destination places Friday. So they go in, Stephanie picks a lock, and they find Kayla. And it was great. All hugs, all love. They find Kayla. So Hope goes to the cottage. Of course, Bo was gone to take Kayla to the lab, but he was on his way back. So she's got her gun. She's walking around. She don't know that Patch is locked up in the basement, but she hears somebody not messing with the door, like they're getting ready to come in. And she turned around, and there he was, Bo Brady, face to face. Hope came face to face with Bo on this day, April 21st, in Salem, after a couple decades of him being dead. So that's how it ended. That's how it wrapped. It was so good this week. I really enjoyed it. I feel so bad for Roman, but I feel certain that Rolf has Kate, that he went and took her, saved her life, and he has her. Maybe he brainwashed her to love him. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that Rolf asked Kate, oh, look here what I have. A Days of Our Lives bracelet I made. You see that little hourglass on it? Oh, it's so pretty. I have a couple more too, and they're all different. They're all just different. All right. Well, I'm going to get off here. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I will see you all in Salem. Oh, crap. All right. Thanks, everybody.